Everybody, Excited Utterance here. My name's Hella, and today we're going to be talking about someone who's not that popular, apparently. Apparently, she's so unpopular that she's not allowed to have a social media account. If she has a social media account, then she's going to get chased away. Chased away, chased away, chased away. And we're going to see today how quickly she's getting chased away. She did one social media post with no comments. She turned her comments off, and so many haters have gotten on there and reposted or stitched it, as they say on the TikToks, which is a TikTok kind of term, and gone, "Oh, girl, we know who you are. We don't want you on here." But I'm not that good at that. You'll have to see. You have to see for yourself. Now, I'm talking about Casey Anthony, who was not convicted of first-degree murder of her little girl Kaylee back in 2011. Now, Mr. Daly will be on here shortly. He knows a lot more about this case than I do. In fact, he's a bit of a Casey Anthony aficionado. He knows the case back to front. I know about as much about it as everybody else. And when I say everybody else, you guys in America, you followed it a lot closer than I would have. I'm over here, but let's just say I have my own feelings about it, but I'm not going to look at it from an emotional point of view. My take on it is more as a bit of a legal study. I see this as a really interesting case of a defense actually managing to convince a jury to look at the facts and convince them to see reasonable doubt. And that's really unusual. Really, really unusual. So, whilst so many people are very angry that Casey Anthony is not in prison, I think they should be very angry at the prosecutors for not meeting their burden. If people really think that she did this, then the prosecutors are at fault because they didn't put on a good enough case. But that's just my take. I have no really strong opinion either way whether or not she is guilty of the top charge. But I do feel that the prosecutors didn't do a good enough job. They couldn't have. Because how easy is it really for the prosecutors to win? They have the advantage. Casey Anthony acquitted of killing her toddler daughter, but she did it. Yeah, so that's generally what people think. So I find this really interesting, that the majority of people think it's kind of like O.J. Simpson. The majority of people think that she did it, yet she's walking free. And there's this major hostility towards her because they think she did it, they think she got away with it, and so now, how dare she live her life, right? So if that's the case, what should she do? Should she change her name? Should she move to a different country? What should she do? I don't know. But now what's happened is it's 2025. This happened in 2011. So what? Terrible with maths. 14 years. And she's decided to not just start a TikTok account, but also what's called a Substack. So if you're not aware of Substack, it's another social media account, but it's basically for like a blog, but a paid blog. And that's also where some of the anger is coming in, because people are all like, well, she's just trying to make money. How dare she try and make money from her notoriety? So anyway, we'll talk about this in a minute. Hey, woman, how are you? She's sussy baka. What is a sussy baka? What's that? Now, I do agree her dad is sus as fuck. I definitely agree with that one. Yeah, that part of the whole story is really bothersome to me. Um, she needs a YouTube vlog. Now, the other thing that interests me about this is that people don't seem to understand out there in the social media world that trying to chase people away with bullying tactics and with outrage actually makes the original account more popular. So it doesn't work, right? So she posted on the 1st of March, and she's currently, or when I looked last night when I set this stream up, she had 27,000 followers. So, and she doesn't have to do anything. She hasn't even got comments on her account. Now, she'd be well on her way to being monetized on her TikTok account, purely because so many people have taken her original post and done this stitching thing, reposting. She had so many views. We'll have a look at it in a minute, right? But people don't get it that just by watching it over and over and over again and reposting it and having so much hate towards it, you're actually giving it more views. You're giving it more life. So you're helping her. You're not chasing her away, you're helping her. The same thing happened with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, right? So much hate and so much disdain for her, but you're actually fueling her and helping her to make money. So yeah, people just don't get that about it. It's the Streisand effect, yeah. Oh wait, yeah, she'll make tons of money because people want to hate watch. Absolutely, KLF. Absolutely. So if you really want someone to go away, just ignore them. But they can't, right? They won't. They won't ignore it. They'll keep it going. And if she's smart, she will ignore the haters and she'll just keep putting content out. And if the content creators are smart, they'll keep taking that content and putting it out there and fueling the hate, just like the Gypsy Rose Blanchard content creators did. I started that. I started watching Gypsy Rose Blanchard and putting some of her content out, and I realized, because I was interested in the trial. Right? I was interested in the Dee Dee Blanchard situation, and then the Nick Godejohn situation, and then I got tired of doing the whole hate content thing. I got really sick of it, and I didn't want to be one of those streamers, and I stopped. And I watched other streamers who were around the same size as me doing the same thing, and they continued with it, and their channels just blew up. And they're continuing every day to cover Gypsy Rose Blanchard hate content, just taking her content and feeding it out there to the masses and going, oh, isn't she a master manipulator? Isn't she this? Isn't she that? And I could have kept going down that line, and I didn't, because I just didn't want to. That's just not what I want from my channel. But you wait. If Casey Anthony continues, that there's going to be a flurry of content creators who go and take all of her stuff and turn it into new content, memes. People are just going to love it. It's going to go crazy. Mavka, I don't know why people hate her. She seems like she was fun back in the day. I'd have hung out with her after the trial. Mavka, you are a different person. Yeah, you're different. Haters will hate. Well, people love to hate, woman. You've seen it. You've seen how people love hating, especially anyone involved with crime, right? Especially anyone involved. People just love it. People love it. No TikTok, but me, yeah, I stopped with TikTok. I was only ever using it to source some content, but yeah, it's really toxic. Okay, hey DK Cripple, how are you? Who else is here? Hello, Shammy. She should have at least gotten time for all her lies and wasting law enforcement's resources. Help me out here. She did do some jail time, didn't she? Didn't and the she got some time served. Please be here, Darlie, because you know a lot more about this than me. And hey, Laura, how are you? Oh, nice kitty cat photo. She is not innocent, and the jury failed that little girl, Maddie B. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. You know way too much about it, Caleb. And while I think she is the cause of Kaylee's death, I think the jury got it right. Yeah, yeah. So, um, here's the problem. When the state does this, sometimes when they reach really far with the charges and they can't live up to that burden, and then they go with the emotional thing, right? So I know the closing arguments were so interesting in this case. So the closing arguments, and Jose Baez pointed it out so well. The prosecution went with this very emotional closing argument. And they tried to appeal to the jury's um, uh, yeah, a soft side, emotional side for this poor little girl. But then Jose Baez came in and said, look, you need to put that aside and look at the evidence. And you, the state has to prove beyond reasonable doubt that all of these things happened. And he laid them all out one by one. And he said, these are the jury instructions, these are the charges. Did can you each of you say that these things happen? And I don't think today that would hold up. I don't know. I'd like to know what you guys all think. I think juries today just love to convict so much.
Yeah.
But hey,
Hey.
Mr. Ilyadali, can you answer me a question about this? Did Casey Anthony do some time for and that's why she walked that day?
I don't
Because
believe she walked that day.
oh, didn't she? Did she go
No,
back?
no, no, no. She had some charges. She was guilty of check forgery, 4 checks.
Right. Yep.
So the Judge Perry was despised Casey Anthony, hated her. So he made sure she got like the maximum amount of time for those check charges.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
Okay.
much, but no, I don't believe she got out that day.
Okay. So Kayla says, I get so angry with they overcharged her argument. She was found not guilty on all lesser included as well.
Including like the manslaughter. Although they could have focused more on those charges.
Well, I mean, but that okay. So that's a fair point, though, Caleb. If the lesser included had have been argued, then because that's the thing, though, right? They were lesser included, but if the state is going hell for leather with the top charge, and they never really talked about the lesser included, then does the jury really have much to go on with the lesser included? I don't know. So, I mean, I don't think it would happen today, KLF. I don't think it would happen today. I think today that they'd
No.
go they'd go straight for the top one, but even if they couldn't go straight for the top one, they'd be like, "Okay, give me a lesser one to go for."
I mean, there was so many issues in that case that the media never really talked about. For starters, they never. Here's a big problem. They never said how her daughter died. They speculated, but they never gave a cause of death to the jury. They didn't know. They never said where she died. Or the big one, how she died. They just couldn't tell. So Casey Anthony comes along, and I'll agree she acted sus and she was very, very stupid in what she did.
Very.
That, I mean, it destroyed her credibility.
Yeah.
But Jose Baez was very good at answering that. Let's say, sorry, she was abused by her father. To me, that can explain some of her behavior. If she was kind of raised in that traumatic environment from a young age, she may just want to kind of separate herself from that trauma.
Yes.
The
All
police
I
acted
read,
disgusting too.
oh, look, all I read, that's a really good point. I honestly think her verdict is one of the reasons jurors are so likely to convict now. No one wants to be a Casey Anthony juror. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's so public, isn't it? Like the disdain for uh, juries and for verdicts that let someone go who everyone thinks is guilty. It hangs around, doesn't it? What, it's 14 years later
Yeah.
and people are still so angry about this. And no one wants to be on that jury that lets someone go. And so they're willing to just go, okay, that sounds like it adds up. And so what happens as a result? We end up with innocent people going to prison for the rest of their lives or maybe heading for the death penalty as a result, right? So, yeah, it's there's a trade-off going on here, isn't there? So, I don't like it any more than anybody else, but the the benefit of the doubt is actually supposed to be given to the defendant, and I don't love I don't love having to trade between these two things. That it's terrible.
Yeah.
But we want transparency. We want to have cameras in the courtroom. We want to be able to see what's going on. We need to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But then we have this media machine also, which is playing up the guilt of the defendant, right? In this case, we did with Nancy Grace was the worst, wasn't she? With
Yeah.
this one, right? So she was like, "Oh, Top Mum did this, Top Mum did that," and look, she might have been right, all right, but that's not really the point. She ended up with so much power in the eyes of the public that then carried on to other people's cases. And look at her. Look at what she's doing now. She's doing the same thing. She did it with. She's doing it with Brian Koberger. She's done it with Richard Allen. She's done it with lots of people. And who's to say whether she's right or wrong? She just makes shit up. She just makes shit up. Yeah. And the public buys into it and goes, "Oh yeah, they're guilty. They're guilty. They're guilty." And then what do jurors feel like? They feel like they are walking into something that's very public and very predetermined what their outcome should be, right? And so when it comes to voir dire, they only get asked if they've heard of it and can they be impartial, right? And if they've heard of it and can they be impartial is okay. That's not much of a bar, really, is it?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey.
Good to see you. Hey, Asher. Almost died when he introduced that Casey's juror that was interviewed was based. Oh, really? Um, you'd be a Casey juror. Hey, Susan. Good to see you. She's a liar. Don't convict her dad on what she said. On what she said. No. I've more been interested in his words, to be honest. I don't believe that. I also think Zanny the nanny was literally Xanax that she was giving her. Hey, Closimian. Somebody somewhere said something about better than 10 guilty people go free than one innocent get convicted, but we don't
Yeah.
seem to really believe that. I 100% believe that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I completely believe in that. Because unfortunately, even if she is guilty,
Yeah.
and I hate the fact that if she's guilty, she's free, but it does impact others,
Yeah.
right? So it impacts others because you need juries to understand that they can acquit. They can acquit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like this jury probably feels like they are shunned as a result, and they shouldn't feel shunned as a result.
No.
So I don't like that part of it. I don't like that part. I just got a jury summons. Oh, what, Justin? What my life gonna get in May? Gonna go in May. Go, Justin! go. I want to hear all about it. She had her day in court and won. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really call it winning, but I mean, for her, I suppose. Okay, let's get into this. So, what's happened? What has happened? All right, so let's go. So, this is what she did. This is what she did. This was only a couple days ago. So, get ready, guys. This has caused a huge storm. And let's see. She has. Oh, this went up overnight. Or for me, because it's morning now. Last night when I checked, she had 29,000 followers. Now she's got 44,000. Wow. Yep. And this post has 19.4K. It's got 8,698 bookmarks and no comments because she's turned comments off.
Smart girl.
But don't you worry. There are comments on the ones that have been reposted and we can read them.
I hope nobody said anything mean.
Oh, no, I'm sure they've all been lovely.
Okay, good. Don't want anything mean said about her.
Nothing
Be
mean.
rude.
Okay, ready.
Let's slay, queen.
Start to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This
She's
is
lying.
my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this
2008.
capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur.
Oh, no,
And
girl.
when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included.
Damn straight.
So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light,
Really?
embracing
Bye.
this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car.
Oh, okay.
And
Ooh.
I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country especially, it's that much more important, which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but
TikTok's not
my
a meta
intention
platform.
is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize moving forward.
This is going
Anyway,
great.
I appreciate your time and we'll see how this goes.
Bye, queen.
Oh, that was perfect. Oh Yeah, Threads is, but this TikTok is not a meta platform. It's Chinese. What's she on about? Okay. Um, I was, but what's that say? Just to avoid meta, but I wonder who owns. What's BSKY?
Blue Sky.
Up. I don't even know what that is.
It's where everybody supposedly went when they got pissed off at Elon.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
Blue Sky, right. Substack going to be like, please stop saying Substack. Well, since you mentioned Substack, here we are. All right, so let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. Hmm.
rawr.
Right, she's got 967 subscribers so far. What does it cost to subscribe? Let's see.
$5 a month.
Oh, you've already checked.
I've already subscribed.
What?
I'm kidding. I have no idea how much it was. I just made that
Okay.
up.
No, it's more than that. I think it's 15.
Damn, girl.
I think it's 14.99.
Jeez. Surprised she doesn't have an OnlyFans.
Why? Well, she might. Hang on.
She
Oh,
doesn't.
hang on. They're public. The pictures are public. Whoa!
Oh, that reminds me. You want to know a funny story? One of the the young kids on the Doge team, when the media was
Yeah.
going around trying to identify them all, he put up
Yeah.
a Substack that was like his plans for what he's going to do for like Doge and everything. And he
Yeah.
charged $1,000 a month to see it. And like a bunch of journalists paid it. And when they got there and signed up, it was just an empty page. So he just tricked them.
Is that Big Balls?
One of them. I'm not sure if that was Big Balls, but
All right, all right. Do you want to be Casey? Because this is first we're gonna read. She's only got 2 posts on here.
no.
This is a public. This is a public post. So I'm sure if you pay $15, you get more. You would hope. Okay, so we're gonna read these first, and then we're gonna look at the rage over on TikTok. But first, we'll give her moment in the sun. Okay. Y'all the worst. Hey, Erica. Oh, look, Dolly's not that bad, Erica.
The presumption of innocence is a sacred right afforded to all individuals arrested in this country. That is not an opinion, it is a fact. We are plagued by a rush to judgment before someone even steps foot into a courtroom. I think she's bringing up some good charges or good points here.
So far.
Yeah. Hold on one sec.
What?
Okay. Once a verdict is read, however long the process takes, like my shifts at Universal Studios, the public must trust that the system worked the way it was intended. Suck it, Melvin. You are entitled to your opinions, Ashcroft, not your own set of facts. You, as the general public, will never know the full facts of a case. The media will never tell you the full truth, like that hoe, Nancy Grace. They will tell you what you think and how to feel. Educate yourselves. Stop spreading hate. If tomorrow you woke up and were arrested, accused of a crime you didn't commit, or someone
gosh.
close to you were to be, wouldn't you want for you/them
Them.
to be treated fairly and just? It's not that complicated, people.
Okay, so Erica, to be Okay, if you want to comment on a page, you have to say something nice because
Aw.
there's 6 comments and then she locked them, right? So, and you can really tell. Hang on. Oops, no, 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 no. You can tell which one she's allowed on. So, to be fair, it's not completely uncommon for people to be wrongly convicted. The legal system is far from infallible. This isn't a statement against you, but it's easy to say we must trust the system when it worked for you.
Yes, child, yes. Brave Canadian friend. I don't disagree in the least, hallelujah, nor do I take it as anything negative towards me or anyone else. I've worked several wrongful conviction cases.
Really?
Still trying to get one client fully exonerated, even though he's been released from prison. The whole point is the system works more often than it doesn't. And there is still the need for reform. And for people to be educated about our system. The conversating needs to be continued. Not only about where the system is broken, but where the system works. If you're only focused on the negative or the flaws in the system, like me stealing a woman's man and then dumping him shortly after, it's counterproductive to have the appropriate narrative, especially with those elected in power who can make these changes. We need more vocal people to come together collectively in a way that is productive. Good sir.
Okay.
So with that, I do hope that you choose to speak up and say your piece. Trust me, they are, sweetie.
Say your piece.
However,
the wrong
that
way to
needs
spell
to be
peace.
stated. No.
No, it's say your piece. Your piece, like a piece of pie.
Yeah.
Not peace as in like war and peace. She's got it wrong.
I believe she's an investigator. She works for the investigator that on her case back in 2008. And then she was found not guilty and she got a job with him. They kind of became her family. They look after her.
Who?
Her legal team.
As in the buyer's team.
Not really Baez as much, but the investigator he had, and some of the local people that worked with her. She works with them now.
Right. Shari says, knowledge is power, and we all need to educate ourselves to protect our rights. Thank you, Casey.
Hallelujah.
Yes, and Travis Watkins says,
Yes, girl. It's amazing you have found the courage to step up and gain your voice back. This will be a bumpy road for you, Cassie, but know there are people who are pulling for you and are interested in your message and journey. And by that, I mean your OnlyFans.
yeah. Lynn says, what is your email that we can email you at? Hi, it's nice to meet you. Yeah. Hi, I've messaged but never got a reply.
Good Lord, girl. Settle down. Jeez.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'm the
what's
one
with
saying
her?
that. You're coming on a little strong there, and I'm saying that.
Yeah, right. So, okay, let's look at this. So that's 6 replies, 136 likes there, and she locked it off at that point.
And yeah, she believe it or not, this may come as a surprise, but Casey Anthony and Mama and Papa Bear don't really see eye to eye anymore.
Funnily, that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if something happened, but they just don't really talk much.
Okay, one more thing from her, and then we go and look at the hate. So, this stuff here.
Oh, I don't want to be mean. Yes, girl. We are living in a time where we are told by political heads of state that we can say and do what we please.
Really?
Poor choice of words, sweetie. And with the help of social media, people tend to act accordingly. Unfortunately, with the current political climate, we are coming to find out that that is simply a facade.
Oh, look.
Many of us knew this long ago, but more individuals are finding that out the hard way, like my girl Sarah Boone. Free speech is not truly free. Having the right to speak your piece does not give you the true white privilege to say whatever the fuck you want. I added that part.
Huh?
I was
Free
saying
speech
shit.
is having the right to speak your piece. That's again, she's got it
I
wrong.
know.
Oh my god. That drives me mental.
Now, more than ever, your privacy and your words are not safe. Next, they'll judge you by your actions. Every single thing that you say can be used against you regardless of your intentions, if only there was some kind of warning that was given to you. Intentions in the eye of the law do matter. So simply a reminder, what you say matters, and the intention behind the things that you say also matters.
Yeah, Malcolm is teasing you. he has a boner for the bone. All right, back to TikTok. Okay. So, last night I spent some time going through just some of the responses to the post by Casey Anthony. And we're certainly not going to watch them all, but
Wait, did Casey post feet pics?
okay, so this is what people do on TikTok, right? There's this thing where you can do like it's called a stitch, I think, where you can like half and half video and then put your own face over things. And sometimes people do this thing where they like show like cooking or in this case feet. I don't know why. Someone explain. If you understand why people do this, let me know. But, okay, let's watch this woman.
I don't know, Gina.
Off to a horrible start because why does Casey Anthony have a
Hang
TikTok?
on, I have to tell you why. Hang on.
Women's History Month is off to a horrible start because why does Casey Anthony have a TikTok?
For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them.
Why are they,
this is
why is
not
she
in
cleaning a
response
mattress?
to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is
Gross.
for me to begin to reintroduce myself.
Mind you, this is the same lady who was accused of murdering her daughter back in 2008 after her daughter Kaylee Anthony's remains were found near her home. In July 2008, Casey's mom, Cindy, reported Kaylee as missing after not seeing her granddaughter in 31 days, and she tried asking Casey where Kaylee was but could not get a straight answer. Casey then said her daughter was abducted by the nanny and that she hadn't seen Kaylee in weeks, which is strange
Why are we
because
watching
during that
this?
time that her daughter was missing, she was out partying, having a good old time with her friends. And as it turns out, unsurprisingly, there never was a nanny to begin with, and that was all a lie. That was the first of many lies, actually, which is a whole separate video in itself. But in short, when she went on trial in 2011, Women's History Month is off to a horrible start because why does Casey Anthony have a
Okay, wait, stop.
TikTok?
Stop. Okay. It's what Zoomers do. Yeah. Oh, look, if we retry the Casey Anthony case, she would be screwed. Yeah, well, they are retrying it on TikTok right now. Okay, next
For
one.
those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony.
This chick's
my daughter
weird.
is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them.
I'm sorry, what? Casey Anthony's on TikTok? Casey Anthony's on TikTok? In all earnestness? Casey Anthony on TikTok, introducing herself by saying, I'm Casey Anthony. Kaylee Anthony is my daughter. And then her you mean was, right? You mean was, Casey?
Do you really say that when people die? No.
You forget what you did. You forget what made you famous. She, without irony, said that she's been in the legal field since 2011.
Yeah.
Girl.
She has been.
Getting away with crimes.
No.
Allegedly.
Literally
Sorry, allegedly. I had to look this
Well,
up.
she has kind of.
She
Well,
was acquitted in July of 2011.
yeah.
So I guess you could say that you've been in the legal field.
No,
since then.
she's been
A
working
little before
numerous
that, though,
cases.
right? Technically, you've been in the legal field a little before that. Blaming it on Zanny the nanny. Zanny the nanny, woman of color.
Really,
Fair,
KO?
huh? Casey Anthony.
No, I don't want to fix Casey.
What
She's
timeline are we on?
not faithful.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony.
Oh, God, okay.
My parents are George and Sydney.
Enough. All right, so comments. With her comments off, though, it could be worse. She could be applying for babysitting jobs. Oh, God.
I mean, she was
She
found not
actu-
guilty.
Okay, so this. She actually has been in the legal field. Her own attorney, who represented her, had her work for him.
Well, no, not her. I believe it was the investigator, but
Was it? Okay.
yeah, Baez kind of moved on to bigger and better things.
Dre says, lads, hear me out. We seem to be in an era of life where the villains are making money. First Gypsy Rose, then a HS shooter. Really? Pity party for him getting chopped up with a sword after he killed people in something. I don't know who they're talking about. Zanny was a street name for Xanax. She had
Never
been
confirmed.
drugging that child for months so she could go out and hoe around. Really? Okay. All right, next one.
Casey Anthony created a TikTok account, and not only did she create a TikTok account, but she has posted a video that she says is going to be one of many. Now, her presence online is enough to shock everybody, but one thing that she said in her video that honestly shocked me more than anything was the fact that she said that she's a legal advocate and that she's been in the legal world since 2011. Ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. Why do we think that Casey Anthony was in the legal field in 2011?
Ding, ding, ding.
What could possibly
Because
have
she
happened
worked
to
since
get her into that
2011.
situation? The fact that this woman is getting online talking about, I'm going to be making videos to help other people who are also victims like I was, does not sit right with me. Now, I recommend a lot of true crime documentaries, but I typically don't talk about people who are actively involved investigations or anything like that. But the fact that she felt comfortable to
Wait,
get on
okay,
this
hang on a minute. She watches a lot of true crime documentaries.
Oh, well, she's an expert then, guys. Okay,
okay.
I apologize
App
for
to
being
tell-
facetious.
Yeah. Oops.
her story is absolutely wild to me. Because what do you mean? Casey Anthony created a TikTok account, and not only did she
be quiet. Okay, so Casey Anthony needs to get the fuck out of here. She snuck into my FYP, and I'd like her to leave. Well, okay. So here's the thing about this, right? If it weren't for the fact that everybody was reposting or stitching or liking her original post, it would not be in her FYP. Her FYP. Whatever it is, right? So there's only one reason why she's getting all of these followers and likes and bookmarks and everything. It's because of people like this. That's why.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. These people are making her blow up. And do they not realize it? This is the thing that's getting me about it. It's just they are making it blow up.
Yep.
Hell is saying FYP sounds dirty. Oh, your FYP? In my FYP? Yeah, it's for your page. Yeah, I do know it. It's just, it sounds so stupid. Just blocked Casey Anthony. She will not make a penny off me with ads. See, yeah, okay, so that's the way, right? But unfortunately, if people that you are following continue to repost her, I think on TikTok it still works. Like if you're still watching the stuff that people are reposting, I think it still goes back to her anyway. Pretty
Yeah.
sure. Pretty sure. The rebranding of Casey Anthony was not on my 2025 bingo card, but you want to read this one?
Next up is Trump elect, or that one.
Yeah.
Y'all just had the longest day at work, and seeing Casey Anthony on my FIP is generally going to make me crash out.
My FIP. Oh, hang on. This is 20 hours ago. She has 18K followers, so that speaks volumes about the followers.
Okay.
It's 40K now. So that was legit 20 hours ago. Guys, see what happens? Oh, you want to read this one?
She needs to crawl back into her effing cave. She's a monster.
Casey Anthony making her second return to social media shocked me because it did not go over so well the first time. If you don't remember, back in 2011, she started this video diaries and was ran off the internet. But since Casey has made her arrival, I just wanted to ask a few questions. On June 16th, 2008, you and Kaylee left your parents' house and you told your parents you were going to stay with the nanny, Zanny. Which is very interesting because a few hours later, you're seen at Blockbuster with Tony and he described hanging out with you during this time as you having a grand old time. You went, you stayed with him. Where was Kaylee? 2 days after the last time anyone saw Kaylee, you went to your neighbor's house and asked for a shovel. And I've always wondered what you needed it for. 4 days after the last time we saw Kaylee and you were doing hot body contests. I can just see the grief on your face. It's palpable. 2 weeks later, you go to the tattoo parlor. The tattoo artist asked where Kaylee was because he knew her. So I don't even have to ask you this question because you answered him and said that she was with the nanny. And then you got a tattoo that means the beautiful life. When in all actuality at this time, you knew that Kaylee wasn't with the nanny. So where was she? Oh, and let's not forget the shopping sprees you went on your friend's dime, except for your friend didn't know that they were paying for it. Because going on shopping sprees while stealing from people I supposedly love is exactly what I would do when my child's missing. One thing I've always wanted to know is how long you were going to keep up this charade had you not been caught. Because 31 days after Kaylee was gone, everything blew up. You, being the responsible person you were, left your vehicle somewhere, and so your parents had to go pick it up. This was after you ran out of gas and left your car multiple times. So your parents go and pick up your car, and George, who was a police officer, he smells the non-forgettable scent of human decomposition. And then your mom sees Kaylee's favorite toy and her car seat in the vehicle. So your parents immediately thought, oh my God, something happened to Casey and Kaylee. And they were half right. And if you don't trust George's experience as your thoughts, when they took this car to the CSI lab, the people who work there also said that they smelled human decomp. People whose job is literally around that constantly, and that's immediately what they smell before they even opened your car door. So you then take the cops on this endless goose chase, and that's when they started looking at you as a suspect. And then you sent Tony a text message I have literally never forgotten. You said, if they don't find her, they will blame me and I will spend eternity in jail. You didn't say, oh my God, I hope they find her. I can't believe this is happening. I should have reported it sooner. I was just trying to keep her safe. Just some sort of excuse. No. You didn't do any of that. Same thing with the jail phone calls where you were constantly saying, my life is being ruined. I'm stuck in here. Never, oh my God, I miss my daughter. This daughter. And you're saying in your videos now you want to be the voice for the voiceless. This is where you need to start. And I've also always been curious how embarrassed you were when you told the police you worked at Universal, so they took you down there to prove your employment. You talk to the first person there and you say, yes, I do work here. Like, I know I work here. So they say, oh, go talk to HR. You go to HR with the police and you sat there and waved at other employees like you knew them. I have secondhand embarrassment from just hearing about this story. But it probably didn't faze you because you have no shame. My opinion on that is proven by you coming back to social media to support the voiceless. Most of the world still remembers Kaylee. And for the people who have forgotten or just don't know yet, I hope they see every single video that's been made about you. It is not right that you can just come back and be this advocate. Who is advocating for Kaylee? I will never forget. And I'll make sure as many people as I can reach don't either.
Okay, so that's great. And 16 hours ago, someone says, how can she have 23K followers? Well, guys, now she has 40. It might have gone up since I started streaming. I don't know. Be kind. Please rewind. Olenred says, she was an absolute bee in her jail calls. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. She was trying to run a con. Could have worked if they didn't check on it. Guys, help me out with this nanny thing. Like, did the nanny not exist? Or was it a real person or what?
No, she made it up.
She made it up. Okay. Because someone said that she ruined the life of a person who really was the nanny. No?
Unless people blamed someone and thought she meant someone, but no, the nanny never existed.
Right. I wonder how many of those 40K are actually paid. Well, I mean, I subscribe to her.
Yeah, I mean,
Because,
people follow.
yeah, I want to see what she does. So I'm like, I would think a lot of them are content creators who are like wondering what she's going to do next. So, and honestly, I mean, the fact that there's so many people taking her content and doing this to it says to me that there are tons of others who have subscribed, but press the subscribe button just wanting to know what she's going to do next. That's it. Right? So, I mean, it's free. You press the subscribe button.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Like, people are like, oh, she's got this many followers. She's not going to make much money out of this unless she continues and she gets a lot of likes and things like that. And, but her Substack's where she's really going to get money. Right? So, and that's what she's obviously trying to push. Let's keep going. Not that one.
Casey Anthony, I don't know how you got here, but you need to be up out of here by 5 o'clock.
I don't even have any words. Let's listen to what she had to say.
I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself.
No, you don't.
And also,
Casey Anthony, I don't know how you got here, but you need to be up out of here by 5 o'clock.
Okay, so like that, what's she gonna do to her by 5 o'clock?
Right?
What's she gonna do to her by 5 o'clock? Right? Like, yeah, what is going exactly, Melissa? What's going on in these videos? Like, I get why people hate her, but you can't tell someone to just like get off this platform. I don't get that. And she's gonna throw some hands. Yeah, right. I'll eat your lunch. I don't really get that. Gotta be out of here by 5 o'clock.
this is my
More
first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And the whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself.
No, you can't reintroduce yourself. We all know of you and know who you are. You can't.
So with that, please join me on Substack.
No, we only following Aaron Parnas on Substack. I'm sorry. That's the only person. Now listen up, everybody. Listen. We can't be giving people like this platforms. I know y'all finna rush and do it. Y'all already gave the flower woman
Who's the flower
a
woman?
platform after that heinous crime. And y'all are about to do it again. Y'all are sickening. Let that sink in. That's why people don't have empathy no more, because y'all will excuse actions, especially of a woman. I'm not trying to dogpile on women, but especially of women, y'all always got an excuse or trying to find reasoning or trying to be understanding. No, we can't do this for situations like this. What's wrong with y'all? Do y'all not?
Women are the worst.
Do they not know what's going on?
They don't
Like,
care.
I'm confused. Like, listen, how I care more than y'all. Let that sink in. Most of y'all that's watching this is your community. How I care more than y'all?
Okay. Okay. Again, I get the anger, but you can't just tell somebody they can't be on a social media platform. What? Okay, so hello, Jay. I don't believe in canceling anybody, really. If I just don't believe in cancel culture. I
Yeah.
just don't. So, yeah, I just don't. I just think it's a really, really toxic phenomenon that's happened in society. I don't like it. Why? What do you mean? Ginny, why is it all right to tell someone they can't be on a social media platform? And I just I feel like that's just bullying. And if she wants to be on a social media platform, that's fine. But the best thing to do is to ignore them. If you ignore somebody, they will have no
Reach.
they'll have no reach and they will go away.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Like what they're doing is just giving her power to speak, and she will do exactly what Gypsy Rose Blanchard's done. Right? Gypsy Rose Blanchard has an enormous amount of reach. Is probably making a bunch of money because people love to hate her and continue to repost her content all the time. And she's been actually smart enough to go and take that and use it rather than get all upset about it. Right? So she has as much right as anybody else to be on there. She's actually been convicted of murder. Right? And yeah, people hate her, but they love to hate her, and she puts content out there and uses it to her advantage. Right? I can't stand Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Right? But she's allowed to be on there unless she does something offensive on there. If she goes against their terms of service, then she'll get kicked off. But so far, Casey Anthony's done one post, and it's certainly not against the terms of service, so she can be on there. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's all a positive click. It's all for good. I think it all benefits Casey. Hate sells really well. Hate sells so well, by friends. It really does. Gypsy's awful, but I feel a little bad for her. I did at first, but then I really I really looked into the case a lot more, and then I was like, nah,
Yeah.
no. They don't ever get kicked off TikTok. I've seen people get kicked off TikTok. Absolutely. It's really easy to get kicked off TikTok. Their terms of service are really tight.
Yeah.
Really tight.
Just talk about Tiananmen Square.
Yeah. She has 967 Substack subscribers. Yes, I know. But there's indeed a free level, so no telling how many are paid. No, the 967 subscribers, they're the paid ones. You can't subscribe without paying. So I just try to subscribe. I believe, unless I'm wrong. Anyway, let's keep going.
We're sweat to death. Okay.
Girl, did you think we would forget what you did? Did you think we all would forget what you did to your daughter? Girl, bye. Just bye. Legal advocate for what? How to get away with unaliving your child? How to get away with unaliving people? Yeah, I think you're the last person I would ever take advice from. Did you know you're still America's most hated mom? Hell, Nurse Hannah's a whole lot better mom than you will ever be. Granted, the stuff she does. But hell, if I had to compare the two of you, at least Nurse Hannah has her kids.
Who's Nurse Anna?
Do I agree with what she has done? No. But I'm gonna put her on a pedestal instead of you. At least she didn't murder her kids. Shame, shame, shame. Just shame. You're an illegal advocate.
She's a nurse who abuses kids, and her viewers called CPS on her.
This is an embarrassment. Well, for you, anyways. I don't think we will ever forget what you did to. I don't think we'll ever forget what you did to your daughter.
Okay, enough.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my.
Your daughter called you. Has Casey reached out?
She did reach out to ask how I was.
Would you like to see her?
Yeah, I would. I mean, honestly, I would. I would like to just tell her I'm sorry. You know, that
Hang on.
I forgive her. I forgive her.
Oh, this thing.
And that's hard for me to say. But you know what? I need to be forgiven
This
by
is from
her
the
and my son
documentary.
and other family members or friends that I care so much about. Forgive me for what I've done to all of our lives.
It was an accident.
Your daughter called you.
Yeah, okay. So that's the moment in the documentary when, like, she goes, "What was an accident? What's he talking about? That was an accident. What's he admitting to? And yeah, what is he sorry about?" I just said the same thing watching this. Yeah, Casey is not innocent, but either are they. That whole family is suspicious. They both passed lie detector tests. Oh God, who cares about lie detector tests? That they went out of their way to do. They didn't have to do it. Only one monster. That's the Kaylee's mum. Yeah. He stated he forgives her for blaming her for Kaylee's death, not because he did anything. Hang on, there's more of this. This bit.
I'll be honest. I mean, honestly, I would. I would like to just tell her I'm sorry. You know, that I forgive her. I forgive her. And it's hard for me to say. But you know what? I need to be forgiven by her.
Was that a chirp?
And other family members or friends that I care so much about. Forgive me for what I've done to all of our lives.
It was an accident. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, she asked the question. I want to know the answer to that. What does he need to be forgiven for? I'm sorry, can you play that one?
I need to be forgiven by her and my son and other family members or friends that I care so much about. Forgive me for what I've done to all of our lives. What do you really forgive me for?
Okay, so that was a documentary a couple of years ago, and yeah, people got really up in arms about that because it sounded like he was saying sorry about the actual incident, whereas, and then she's like, what are you talking about? Play it again. And then people are getting in the comments going, no, he took a lie detector test and he passed it. It's like, well,
He used to be a cop. I mean,
and oh, okay, yeah, he used to be a cop too. And then like Vinny got, like Court TV Vinny, he got on his little podium and went, I can't believe I watched this whole thing and I paid the money and it was disgusting, the whole thing. I watched the whole thing, it was so bad.
And also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony.
Absolutely not.
And also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. As a proponent for the LGBTQ community, women's rights, I use this platform that was thrust upon me. Yes, I am on TikTok.
We, the jury, find defendant not guilty.
Okay, this is different. I'll read the comments here. Casey Anthony is the O.J. Simpson of our time. She got away with murder. Now this has 101 replies.
Oh.
Oh, hang on, but before we get to that, anyone that vouches for Casey Anthony stand with a woman who didn't report her child missing after 31 days. Her mother called 911. Get the facts straight. Kaylee deserves an apology, not her. Oh, hell nah.
We owe this creator a room in the psych ward if she thinks Cassie Anthony is innocent.
Who the fuck is we? She murdered her child.
We don't owe Cassie Anthony anything. She owes her kid a childhood that will never exist because of her actions.
I know this case inside and out. She deserves nothing.
Oh, well, okay then.
Ho is you, Casey Anthony? People always do that, right? Like they go, "Oh, are you her, or are you like related to her or something?" We owe her jack shit. Wow. No, the fuck we don't. This woman is guilty, and that jury failed, Kaylee. See, I have a problem with that bit because I think if you really believe she's guilty, you should be angry at the prosecutors. Prosecutors
That asshole.
Yeah, prosecutors didn't meet their burden. They just
Jose
didn't meet
Baez
their
said
burden.
2 of the prosecutors were good, hard. I mean, they did a good job. The Linda, the female prosecutor, the head prosecutor, but Ashcroft was a douchebag. Just no professional ethics, arrogant, played games, tried to manipulate the judge into getting pissed at Baez. So Linda Blaine, it's going to drive me crazy.
She was proven innocent. Nah, no one gets proven innocent. That's a different thing. Don't mean nothing. Everyone knows she did it. So she
Linda
was
Bird.
OJ, and everyone knows he did it. Same thing here. No one gives a fuck. She killed that baby. Yeah, okay. Ugh. I just don't know how, like, okay, she's been found not guilty, and then what do people expect her to do now? Does she go and change her name and move to another country? I feel like that's all she can do.
Yeah.
Pretty much all she can do. You've never have you never heard of this, Debs? Hey, Sarita. This bitch is living about 40 minutes from me. Wow. As if she's still with married men. I don't know.
They unfortunately, she got a little tired of him, and
She?
they're no longer together, sadly. True love did not get a win that day.
Did she upgrade?
No, she just got what she kind of wanted and left him, and I think he's trying to get back with his ex-wife now.
Oh, right.
So, yes, Justin, she is single now.
Who's Ashley?
Benefield.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
So is Jodi Arias.
Did she go back to Florida? She's in Florida.
She's been in Florida the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I don't know. I don't know what happened. All I know is the jury saw reasonable doubt, and that's so rare. That is so rare for somebody to convince a jury to see reasonable doubt when the prosecution puts on such an emotional case, and there's also so much public pressure as well. Like it's so much media spin happening. And there's a little girl, like, there's a tiny little girl, beautiful pictures of her. People feel so emotionally invested. It's a long case. What were they sequestered? I
Yeah.
think they were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. It went on for quite a while, it was a few months.
The trial itself was like 40 days.
Yeah,
So
and
that would have
like,
been, yeah.
that jury must have felt so much pressure, and for them to actually acquit her,
Pretty quickly, too.
that would have been, yeah. I mean, they would have just felt so much pressure to find her guilty, and then for them to acquit her, that's a huge thing. And like as Old Line Red said earlier, I think that has had ripple effects to up till today. I think that was a really great point that she made earlier. That I think that juries today, they really, what we're seeing today with juries not seeing reasonable doubt and just being very much more likely to find defendants guilty, especially in high profile cases, it may be because, in part, because of cases like this. Because the jury here, like people, like you can see it, the jury got it wrong, that people are so mad at the jury for not finding her guilty. Whereas really, they should be mad at the prosecutors. The prosecutors didn't put on a good enough case.
Yep.
If people really think she's guilty, they should be mad at the prosecutors. Hella, we look for unreasonable doubt now. Yes, we look for unreasonable doubt. Oh, she was in Tennessee, was she? Ah.
Yeah. Close enough.
Hey, dude. Poor Casey. Look, Casey's going to be fine. She's got a Substack now.
Yes.
She's got a Substack. Yeah, she'll do fine. Anyway, we're going to get going. I have to go and fight a cyclone.
Yes.
Yep.
How terrifying.
Yes, indeed. I'm scared. Has Nancy commented yet? Oh, she will. For sure she will. She'll be all like, guess what she's done now? She's gotten on TikTok. How dare she? That's my domain.
Yeah.
Which is actually not. How dare she try and make money? How dare she try and survive? Who knows? She'll say something for sure. Oh, who knows if I'll be fine or not? See, the problem here is our city here is not made for cyclones. We don't get cyclones down here, right? So tornado, it's just, a cyclone is a hurricane backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a backwards hurricane. It's the same thing, because ours just go the other way, right? So basically, it's sitting just out in the ocean at the moment, and it's going to swing back our way, and it's going to hit us as like a category 2, which, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but considering that we're not, our buildings are not made for cyclones at all.
Yeah.
So, and we also are really prone to flooding around here. So, well, Sean, I would, except the thing is that I've got like a kid and animals, and yeah, so I have to go and like board up the windows and bring everything in and tie things up, and I'm scared.
No.
Sandbags. I hate sandbags. If anyone ever used sandbags, I have. And if they actually have to get used, like if they get wet, then what you're left with is muddy, gross sand. Ew. Yeah, I've had to use them once. It was terrible. Get charcoal for the grill if you need to cook. Luckily I have gas. So there is that. Dig a hole and hide in it. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Digging a hole that's going to fill with water. Yeah, brilliant. If the cats get outside, they'll fly away. The cats ain't going anywhere. Cats ain't going anywhere. No. It's very rare. Yes, I'm bronze. 1974, what was the last time a cyclone hit Brisbane? Well, that one wasn't actually a cyclone crossing. The last actual crossing was in the 50s. But the flood in 74 was because of the dregs of a cyclone. That was Cyclone Wanda. That was back when all the cyclones were named after females because they changed it to be politically correct sometime in the 2000s. Yeah, it's true. Did that happen with you guys too? Did the hurricanes used to all be females and then they changed them to have male names as well?
We had like Hurricane Andrew, I think, in the 90s.
Yeah, because ours always were females. And then they changed them, so they went a male and then a female, male, female. I'm scared. What the fuck is a tornado in? No, we get little tornadoes. They're not like yours though. They're kind of rare. But yeah, they're just called tornadoes. UK name storms or different names. Really? You know, like Frisky and Potter. I remember male hurricane names going back a ways. Yeah. Hella collect, man. Yeah. You know what's really funny about the name of this one? This one's called Alfred, I think.
Yeah.
But it was going to be called Anthony, but they changed its name because the name of our Prime Minister is Anthony.
Oh.
And our Prime Minister didn't want a cyclone that causes death and destruction to be named after him. How funny is that?
Well, just kind of doing an elbow to come back.
That's even more funny because his nickname is Albo.
Yeah. And it's kind of taking the path of an elbow.
Yes, it is. It's going like a boomerang.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, it's Albert. Yeah, it was meant to be Anthony.
Of course, your
But
cyclones.
Our PM was butthurt about it. He gets butthurt about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a joke, and we would have mocked him. He doesn't like being mocked. Not at all.
No.
I am near the coast, but I'm not right on the coast. I'm like about 20 kilometers in. Yeah. But it's coming straight for me. Like, it's like beeline. It's coming straight for me. All right, that's enough. Okay, time for the song. Thanks everyone for hanging out. And on replay, guys, put your comments in the comment section. It helps. And you know, if you hate the stream, even write in there that you hate the stream. It's fine.
Yeah.
But press the like anyway.
Or dislike.
Whatever. It all does the same thing.
Don't tell them that.
It all helps. It all helps. Free Casey. Actually, no, she's already free.
Unfree Casey.
Unfree Casey. I love you all. I love you all. All right. See you guys. It's time for the song. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To be said.